गणपतिं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमं ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पत आनः शृण्वन्नोतिभिः सीदसादनम्। ॐ श्रीमहागणाधिपतये नमः। ॐ वृषभं चर्षणीनां विश्वरूपमदाभ्यं बृहस्पतिं वरेण्यम्। ॐ तद्विष्णोः परमं पदं सदा पश्यन्ति सूरयः दिवि वचक्षुराततम्। ॐ श्लीं ह्लीं ज्योतिर्ब्राह्माय नमः। ॐ हरे रामकृष्ण हरे रामकृष्ण हरे रामकृष्ण। ॐ पं पराशराय नमः। ॐ पं पराशराय नमः। ॐ पं पराशराय नमः। Okay, we are in chapter 30, the chapter on Upada. We finished 16 verses. So chapter 30, verse number 17. Uparudhe dvitiyeva shikhi chukrau yada sthitau rakta pradara rogarta jayate tasya bhamini. Okay. Uparudhe dvitiyeva. Uparudhe means in the Upada, or Va means or, dvitiye in the second from it. Either in the Upada or the second from it. Shikhi chukrau yada sthitau. Shikhi means Ketu. Shikhi Shukra means Ketu and Venus. Yada sthito. If Ketu and Venus are there in the second house, second from the Upada, or in the Upada itself. Rakta pradara rogarta jayate tasya bhamini. Tasya bhamini means his wife, his spouse. Rakta pradara rogarta means it means various kinds of blood diseases. Actually, Rakta pradara means coming of blood, but let us just say it is various disorders relating to blood. So blood related diseases will be there for the spouse. Let us see the next one also and then come back to balance. Budha ketu sthitau tatra tada sthisrava samyuta tatra sthasya nirahvarkas tada sthijvara samyuta. Budha Ketu sthitau tatra. If Mercury and Ketu are there, where in the Upada or the second from there. Budha Ketu sthitau tatra tada asthi-srava samyuta means tatha asthi-srava. Tada then asthi means bone. Asthi-srava samyuta. She has bone related problems. Bone problems. Tatrasthaha. If there are there who Seni-Rahu-Varkaha means Seni-Rahu-Arkaha. Seni-Rahu-Arkaha. Saturn, Rahu and Sun. If Saturn, Rahu and Sun are there in the second from Upada or in the Upada, tada asthi-jvara samyuta. Then asthi-jvara literally means fever of the bones. Asthi means bones, jvara means literally high temperature. So the expression is a little weird. And the translation Santanam gave is distress of bones. His translation is distress of bones. But the thing is, I'm not actually possible. Something is. I can't really put my finger on it. I can't say this is what it should be, but something is fishy there. Asthijvara doesn't really. It's not an expression that gels well together. Possible, but the thing is, why fever? Why is he talking about fever and bones in the same breath? And now, if you go back and look at all these three, Ketu and Venus are giving blood-related problems. Mercury and Ketu are giving bone-related problems, and Saturn, Rahu, Sun, we are not sure. Now, what do you make of this? The main planet. See, Ketu is in general Rahu, Ketu, these are the planets of decay, planets of problems, right? Planets of void. So if the Ketu joins Venus, Venus related depletion. If Ketu joins Mercury, Mercury related depletion. If that Ketu or Rahu joins Sun, Sun related depletion, right? So that way, what does Venus show? He shows fluids in the body. Whereas Mercury, being a Bhutatva planet, he shows the structures in the body like bones, etc. Even though if you look at the dhatus, the 7 dhatus and the 7 planets mapping, if you see, then who shows bones? Do you remember? Sun shows bones, Moon shows blood, etc. Venus shows semen, and so on. But here he is using a different classification, similar to what we are used to in Trimshamsa. So for Venus he is saying blood related problems. For Mercury he is saying, what is Mercury in the dhatus, the 7 dhatus? What does Mercury show? Do you remember? Yeah, exactly, skin. But he is not saying skin related problems. So he is not using the dhatus here. He is using the elements directly. So Mercury, structural problems like bones, etc. Venus, fluids in the body, especially blood related problems. That way, Shanirah Varkaha, Saturn Rahu, instead of saying, so far he kept saying Venus and Ketu, Mercury and Ketu. Instead of saying Sun and Ketu, now he said Saturn, Rahu and Sun. So he intends to convey that Saturn and Rahu also are planets of depletion, just like Ketu is. So bottom line is, even though we have 7 dhatus ruled by 7 planets, he is basically leaving Rahu, Ketu, Saturn aside and taking only the others. So he is basically effectively trying to take the Panchabhutas. So if here the planet is Sun, Saturn, Rahu with Sun, then Jvara, some kind of Jvara, he may be a misprint, it may be a mistake, it may be some word, some adjective to Jvara. So basically different kinds of fevers. Because Sun is the planet of fire. Venus is Jala, water, so blood. Mercury is Bhutatva, so bones. Sun is the planet of fire, so too much fire in the system, like Jvaras. Sthulangi. Now he is moving on from that to another kind of results. Sthulangi Budharahubhyam Tatrasthabhyam Dijottama Budha Kshetre Kujarki Che Nasika Roga Samjuta Sthulangi Budharahubhyam Tatrasthabhyam Dijottama. Oh, great Brahmin. Tatrasthabhyam is in case that place is occupied by Budharahubhyam, by Mercury and Rahu. If Mercury and Rahu are either in the Upada or the second house from there, then Sthulangi means fat, very stout bodied. So fatness is given by Budha and Rahu. Why? Like I said earlier, Budha is the planet of earth element. So basically there is the planet showing the earth element, he is with a male figure in that house. So apart from having bone related problems, it can result in a fat person. Budha Kshetre Kujar Ki Chen Chet Nasika Roga Samhita. In mercurial sign, means Gemini or Virgo, Kujar Ki means Kuja and Arki. Who is Arki? No, Arka is Sun. Arki. Arka Sun. Arki means belonging to Arka, coming from Arka. So Arki means Saturn. Kujar Ki Chet. Kuja Arki means Mars and Saturn. If in a mercurial sign, Mars and Saturn are there, where of course in the first or second from Upada. Nasika Roga Samyuta. Then she has diseases relating to nose. Literally it's nose, but it doesn't necessarily mean nose has a problem or something. It basically means breathing related. Now what is the message here? Saturn and Mars, actually both the male fixes are there. 2 male fixes are there. So why is this Nasika Roga? Is Saturn and Mars showing the Nasika Roga or Budha Kshetra showing it? Okay. Budha Kshetra is showing. Why Budha Kshetra shows relating to nose? Yeah. Okay.
So we are talking about Gemini and Virgo here.
Right.
Gemini is an Aries sign.
Yeah.
And
Right.
the probable UL placements are either in Taurus,
Yeah.
Gemini, or
Leo.
Leo
Or Virgo.
Virgo.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Why Mercury shows breathing? But Mercury shows earth element, right? Mercury shows earth element. What does breathing have to do with the earth element? Breathing, nose, lungs, these are all relating to the airy element, right? Your point is good. In the natural zodiac, what shows lungs? Yeah, the throat and lungs. Second house shows face, right, eyes. Third house shows zodiac. So there are system. Gemini is important for breathing system. That is the message here. And Mars and Saturn, if they are there, they are basically two male fixes. The next one is Kujakshetre phalam gneyam Jyottama Brahaspati Shani Tatra Kanna Netra Rujanvita. Kujakshetre pyevam eva. Kujakshetre pi evam eva. Kujakshetre api evam eva. Means in Martian sign also. Now he is extending, not just mercurial sign. Kujakshetre pi evam eva. Even in Martial sign, the result is like this. Phalam gneyam Dvijottama. You will see the result. O great Brahmin. Brahaspati Shani Tatra. If Jupiter and Saturn are there, Karna Netra Rujanvita means ears and eyes. Problems with ears and eyes. If Jupiter and Saturn are there. Okay, now why? What is going on?
So in Aries and Scorpio, if Jupiter and Saturn there.
Pardon me?
So in Aries and Scorpio.
In Martial signs. Why Martial signs can give breathing related problems? No, the previous one was nose. Brahaspati, Jupiter and Saturn is, he's saying eyes and ears. The previous one was nose. Why nose? Nose problems if Mars and Saturn are in Martian sign. Pardon me? Let us take the second line later. First line is even in Martian sign the same result, he said. So this is for the previous one, which was in Budhakshetriya Kujar Kiche Nachika Roga Samyuga. So if Mars and Saturn are in a Mercurian sign, then there is a problem of nose or breathing. Similarly, breathing problem if Mars and Saturn are together is a Martian sign. Why? Yeah. Right. So it doesn't really have to do with the Budhakshetra. The key wasn't Budhakshetra. So what is the key then? Mars and Saturn together. So in both places Mars and Saturn are together is the key. Mars and Saturn are together and is saying breathing problem. Why? Okay. So Saturn is the planet who shows air. He is the planet of air. So if Saturn is badly placed, he is badly afflicted, then it can show breathing problems. And we have actually seen, for this we have seen, not this specific combination, but we have seen earlier that people with people with Saturn being weak or afflicted, they have asthma, breathing problems. So that is the key. Budhakshetra is not the key. Now Mars, if a strong Mars is afflicting Saturn, then there is a problem. Now Budhakshetra and Kujakshetra are specifically mentioned because as far as health matters are concerned, Mars becomes strong in mercurial sign as well as his own sign. Even in Jupiter sign, restrain him, because Jupiter is the jiva, he is the life force. So when Mars is in a Jupiter sign, if he tries to give ill health, Jupiter can restrain him. But when Mars is in own sign, he is free. If Mars is afflicting Saturn in his own sign, like Scorpio or Aries, Mars will trouble Saturn. So whatever Saturn shows in the chart, breathing, lungs, etc., will be hammered by Mars. Similarly, when he is in a Mercurian sign, Mercury is basically a neutral planet. He is good with everybody. And particularly, Mars is considered to be strong in Mercurian signs for physical matters, for wealth matters, etc., for material things. Mars gets full cooperation from Mercury. So, now putting both of them together, what we need to understand is, bottom line is, whether it's Buddhakshetra or Kujakshetra is just one guideline. Pardon me, Mercury? That is the other thing, right? Right, exactly. That is the other point, yes. So, yes. Now, so the key here is whether they are in Martian sign or Mercury sign is actually just a generic guideline. The bottom line is, the message is, Mars has to be strong, and he should have something to do with the 6th house or 8th house, or he should be capable of giving illness. If Mars is Lagna Lord, for example, just because he is with Saturn, he won't necessarily give breathing problems. So a bad Mars for the Lagna, a Mars with some Dusthana qualifications, and a reasonably strong Mars. Maybe he is not in Mercury sign or Martian sign, maybe he is in solar sign, but still he is strong. So he has to be strong, and his intent has to be bad. So strong Mars with a bad intent, when he afflicts Saturn in Upada or the second from there, can give breathing diseases to wife, like bronchitis, asthma, all these things. Now, of course, not just Upada, second or first from Upada, anywhere basically, such a planet afflicts Lagna or 6th house or something, he can give to the native also. This is not just for wife. Bruhaspati Shani Tatra Karna Netra Rujanvita. Bruhaspati Shani Tatra. If Jupiter and Saturn are there, Karna Netra Rujanvita. She has problems relating to hearing and vision. Why? Hearing and vision. Jupiter is a planet of hearing, right? Why? Right. Saying that if Jupiter is afflicted by Saturn, or let's say even Rahu, even though he only mentioned Saturn, then to say that there will be a problem in the problem relating to hearing makes sense, because Jupiter does control hearing. But vision, it doesn't really make sense. Who are the planets for vision? Venus is not really the planet of vision. He is the planet of eyes. But vision itself is shown by Sun. So if Sun is afflicted, it makes sense to say there will be vision problems. So it doesn't really make sense. There could be a small corruption. Tatrānyageha gau vipra buddha bhaumo sthito yado. Tatrānyageha gau vipra buddha bhaumo sthito yada. Yada Sarbhanu Devejyo Bharya Dantarujanvita. Okay. So he is saying, Tatranya Gehagau Vipra Buddha Bhavamo Sthito Yado. If Mercury and Mars, Mercury and Mars are there in the second from Upada or in the Upada, Yada Swarbhanu Devejyo. Swarbhanu means Rahu. Devejya means the teacher of gods, Jupiter. So, if Jupiter and Rahu are together, or Mercury and Mars are together, then Bharya Dantarujanvita. Spouse has dental problems. Why? Why Jupiter and Rahu combination as well as Mercury Mars combination shows teeth, problem relating to teeth. Mercury, why does it make sense? Teeth is a part of skeletal, okay. Mercury shows Bhutatva and okay. If there is a, see, let me put it this way. You are absolutely right. Mercury, Sun shows basically all the bones in the body, including the teeth. And Mercury, particularly being the planet of the solid state of the earthy element, he can also show the heat, etc. But look at it this way: if an afflicted Jupiter is in the second house, in general, Jupiter in the second house can show somebody who likes sweets a lot, right? So, if an afflicted Jupiter is in the second house, he can show somebody who eats sweets a lot, and that can basically spoil the teeth. So, an afflicted Jupiter in the second house can show some teeth problems, especially relating to eating a lot of sweet stuff. And why is only Rahu? It's not necessarily Rahu. If Jupiter is afflicted, basically. Because Rahu is Rahu, Saturn, Ketu. These are the planets of depletion, planets of loss. So their affliction is particularly being mentioned. The next verse is Shani Rahu Shani Kshetre Pangur Vatarujanvita. Shani Rahu Shani Kshetre Pangur Vatarujanvita Shubhadrug Yogato Neti Phalam Deyam Vipaschita. Okay. Then Shani Rahu Shani Kshetre, Saturn and Rahu Panguhu Vatarujanvita. These things are shown by Saturn and Rahu, so it makes sense. And Vataroga, Saturn and Rahu also can show Vata when he is in Krishna Paksha, waning moon. And Mercury also, Mercury is Tridosha. He can doshas depending on who he is with, where he is. So moon and Mercury can also show Vata, but apart from them, the full time Vata planets are just Saturn and Rahu. So they are being mentioned. Saturn and Rahu being there will show Vata related problems, windy complaints. Then, but he is saying Shubhadrug Yogato Neti Phalam Gneyam Vipaschita. Shubhadrug Yogato Neti means, yeah, if a Shubhagraha, if a functional benefit, Drug Yogataha means if there is a conjunction or aspect. Druk means aspect, Yoga means conjunction. If there is aspect or conjunction from a benefic planet, na iti phalam gneyam. This result does not apply. Please note it. That is what he says. It should be realized that these results do not apply if there is a benefic planet conjoining or aspecting. So he gave all these results, and this particular disclaimer, whether it applies to the previous line alone or all of these, is not clear. But my take is this applies to all of them. In all these cases, just because you see, conclude wife has blood related problems, maybe not. If there is a benefic planet aspecting, maybe it's not that bad. So the bottom line is he's teaching so many things, but he's also saying, giving the disclaimer. So because of the disclaimers, it will be very tricky in real life. For all you know, Venus and Ketu, if they are together, Venus himself may be a benefic, and there may be some other benefic aspect. There is a good chance that any planet. So it will be tricky to balance various factors and see which one will dominate. The next verse is verse 23. Lagnat padadupārūಢāt yorāsi saptamo dvija tasmāt tatsvaminah kheta tadam sācca dvijottama yavameva phalam gneyam ityahurnāradādayah. Okay, now he is actually extending. as references. Again, which amsha? Sun and Rahu in the second. Very close to the longitude, within a couple of degrees. Conjunction of a planet. So with that we will end hello? Yeah, now is yeah, in the munde again. Okay, now it's recording again. Okay, so where were we? Okay. Which one? Okay. Which one? Padamsa, okay. Padamsa and transits, okay. So there is a question in Padamsa and transits paper, okay.
So you
transit of the,
We were looking at the marriage event.
yeah,
And we know the longitude of the planet which is giving the marriage in the particular amsha.
yeah,
Now we want to see the transit of the planet.
yeah,
So we draw the chart of the transit to get the transit of the planet
yeah.
based on the place where the marriage is occurred, or
Doesn't matter. Bottom line is, you are talking about a planet transiting within a few degrees, 2-3 degrees or maybe 3-4 degrees from the divisional longitude of a related pada, right? So suppose my UL is, let's say, in Libra, and if I find the divisional longitude in Navamsa, I think something like 8.5 degrees in Gemini or something. That is my divisional longitude of Upada. So 8.5 degrees. So if a planet who has something to do with marriage in my Navamsa, natal Navamsa, is transiting close to that 8.5 degrees in Gemini, there is a chance of marriage. So whether I take the transit chart where I am living or in India doesn't really matter. You are talking about a planet which is between 6 to 12 degrees range.
and we need to get the transits of that particular time date.
Yeah, transit when the event is occurring.
The event occurred.
Right, right. The thing is, you won't find, even though there will be some examples where you will see that a transiting planet is actually up to the minute or within a few minutes from the divisional longitude, very close, but in several cases it's like a degree or degree and a half, 2 degrees away from the Pada's divisional longitude. It's not exact, it's not perfect. So you have an arb of 3-4 degrees, within 3-4 degrees from the Pada's divisional longitude. So it doesn't matter where you are finding the transits.
And we use that transit tab on the
Yeah, you can do that. You can do that, yes. What I do when I was doing this research and when I was checking with a lot of examples, what I would do is, I would open 2 Jagannatha Horas, one basically showing a transit chart. I enter the date and time of interest. I actually save so many event charts, basically I save. So I select Ravi Sarada wedding, PVR wedding, like that. Basically I select open the chart. So transit chart is open in one window, one Jagannatha Hora. Another instance of Jagannatha Hora is showing the natal chart and showing all the padas, because I may have to correlate. In the transit, there are maybe 2 or 3 planets of interest. In my case, for example, Mars is 7th Lord in Navamsa. He is in Jupiter sign. Jupiter is the 7th Lord from Moon and Venus. Venus, of course, is Lagna Lord and he is Karaka. So I have a bunch of planets who are of interest. Maybe 2 or 3 or 4. And out of those, some may be closely conjoining the Upada from Lagna or Upada from Venus. So I have to look at different Arudha Padas. So I keep all the Arudha Padas open in one window. You can't get it, but in my version, when I go to the all divisional longitudes, I get the divisional longitudes of padas of different houses, different planets, etc. So I basically
user defined point longitude for
I realized it. That will be good to have. Yes, that will enable manual calculation. Yes.
We knew where the sign was, so we were estimating our calculations.
Yeah.
Right.
What you can do with the current Jagannatha Hora is, you can basically use the divisional longitude. You can basically find the longitude manually of the Arudha Pada of interest and then define a user point at that longitude, right? So once you do that, in the all divisional longitudes you won't get it, but when you show the longitude, right, if you select division Navamsa, will you get it? No, you don't. Sorry. Oh, special point is not shown at all. Oh, okay. Because my version is shows, I think I fixed it later. I see. That needs to be fixed. Yeah, my version, okay. So I thought special point comes. So you will have to, that will be a problem. So you know the sign it occupies, but you don't know the exact longitude it occupies. You can approximately, what you can do is, it will show where the special point is, right? Suppose I am interested in, what is this, Bhukta Tithi, okay, I am interested in 8.5 degree Gemini, let's say, okay, 8:35 Gemini. So 8:35 Gemini I select. So I define a special point which is 8 degree 35 minutes ahead of the beginning of Gemini, right? So it will show that symbol, whatever symbol you chose, in various charts. So what I can do is, suppose I want Vimshamsa. I know that in Vimshamsa, from 6 to 7.5 is one Vimshamsa, 7.5 to 9 is another, 9 to 10.5 is, no, it Is it right? No, 6 to 7.5 is 1. 7.5 to 9 is 1. Yeah, 9 to 10.5 is 1. 10.5 to 12 is 1, and so on. So 8.5 that I took is between 7.5 and 9. So if I subtract 7.5, it is basically 1 degree into it. So times 20. 1 degree out of 1.5. So that out of 30, it will be times 20. So 20 degrees. So you can approximately estimate. You can use Jagannatha Hora to see where it is in Vimshamsa. It shows that in Capricorn. So you know that if a planet is at 8 degrees 35 minutes in Gemini, you know that it's in Capricorn in the Vimshamsa. And the longitude you can do, if you have a calculator, you can quickly say, okay, 8.5 minus. First you do 8.5 divided by 20. So it shows some 3 or 4 or something. So remove the fraction, take the integer part, right? Once you take the integer part, basically multiply it with 1.5, 30 divided by 20, then you get 7.5 or whatever. Subtract that from your longitude, so you get the advancement in the current Vimshamsa. So times 20, or if it is D24 times 24, if it is Navamsa times 9, then you can get the longitude. So if you are a little patient, actually, it is possible to compute the divisional longitude also, but it will not be accurate. It will be approximate, depending on the accuracy with which you find the pada itself. Whereas if you have, yes. So the thing is, I have the software. I'll just have to make a release. Before I make the release, I want to fix the Kalachakradasha issue that Sanjay ji sent a mail about some time back. Basically, Rath Rao, our method basically that was presented in SJC conference, that Kalachakradasha method, which is broken now. I want to fix it before releasing. That is what is holding me up from releasing. So once I release the next version of Jagannatha Hora, you will be able to see the divisional longitudes of all the 12 Arudha Padas of the 12 houses from all the references, from Lagna, from Sun, from Moon, from Venus, from Mercury, from Jupiter, all. So 9 planets and Lagna, so 10 differences and 12 houses. So 120 Arudha Padas, they divisional longitudes in all divisional charts up to D60. So that can enable you to do some research. And yeah, go ahead. The thing is, you may be looking at marriage and you may be seeing if any interesting planet is transiting near the D9 longitude of the Upada, and you may find that there isn't anything really interesting. You, after spending 3-4 minutes of calculations, you may find. But if you have the software, you say, oh no, okay, let's check Venus maybe. Then maybe you will from Venus, the D9 longitude of it may be very close to that. There is an interesting planet. So like that, basically, life will be much easier if you do this. Okay. So you have any chart that we can see? Project? Yeah, I'll project. Do you have any data? 2 times abortions, okay. Give me the data. Huh? May 28, 1980. Okay. 1332. Male or female? Female. Tenjali, is it? Or The? Tenjali, correct. That's what I thought, okay. How should I save it? Surekha. How many abortions? Abortion twice. Okay. 1 second. I'll just give the data. The birth data is 1980 May 28, 1332. That is 1:32 p.m. Indian Standard Time. 5 hours 30 minutes east of GMT. The place is Tenali, India. Tenjali, India. 80 degrees 35 minutes east. 16 degrees 15 minutes north. By the way, the website doesn't have any of the recent classes. It has only, I just checked the website today. It has only up to November. So there must be a few other, some classes probably were not recorded because the recorder was missing. But the classes that are there, I think we should upload them. Okay. Yeah. Whenever possible. Okay. What are the events we know? Marriage you said sometime. Marriage when? Wiped off your memory. Did you recollect it in your memory or did you recreate it? Okay, February 2005, marriage. And then children abortion, do you know when? Last year is when? 2009. When? 2007, 2009 abortion. Okay. We'll, yeah. And what?
He was working
What engineer? Okay, CS. Out of job for 2 years. Okay. Let's see the chart. So her marriage happened in 2005 February, and she had an abortion in 2007 and one more abortion in 2009. And she is working as an engineer. She was working as a software engineer. She did computer science and working as a software engineer earlier, but she has been out of job for the last 2 years. So what is the question? Children? Okay. Is there a potential possibility of getting children in future, or should she adopt or something? So that is the question.
and she is getting depressed.
Getting depressed, okay, naturally. So she is, unfortunately, because of these 2 abortions, she is unhappy and also no job. She is getting depressed. Okay. Let us see the chart. So what is going on in this chart? Lagna is in Virgo. Okay, according to them, time is very accurate. We'll see. First of all, let us see marriage. When did she marry, you said? February 2005. What dasha should we apply? Let's just take Vimshottari. 10th Lord is not exactly in the 10th house. Let's just take Vimshottari. 10th Lord is in the 9th house, technically. So if you take the Vimshottari dasha, and in any case Vimshottari will always work. If you take Vimshottari, what dasha gave marriage? Was it 95 or 2005? 2005. Feb 2005. So Saturn dasha gave marriage. Does it make sense? 2005 would be Rahu. Saturn Rahu gave marriage. Does it make any sense? What do you think? Saturn Rahu giving marriage, does it make sense? What do you think? Yeah? Saturn is Lagna Lord. And with 9th Lord? Yeah. Saturn is Lagna Lord. In Navamsa you are saying. The chart of marriage is Navamsa. In the Navamsa chart, Saturn is the Lagna Lord. Is that all, or is there anything else that is interesting? If you see Moon Lagna, right? Moon is exalted in this chart. So if you take Moon as, he seems in the 8th house, but if you look at the divisional longitude, Moon is advanced in Taurus. He is at 19 degrees in Taurus, right? 1850 here, 18 Taurus 50. Whereas Saturn is 0 Sagittarius 2. He is basically into Sagittarius Navamsa. Whereas Moon has advanced way into Taurus Navamsa. So he is not really in the 8th house. He is in the 7th house. So Saturn is in the 7th house from Moon, and from Lagna he is the Lagna Lord. So he is the Lagna Lord in the 10th house. So having an aspect on the 7th house. So his aspect, if you see his aspect on the 7th house cusp, will be very close to full. It will be a big aspect. So he has an aspect on the 7th house and he is Lagna Lord and he is in the 7th house from moon. So, can he give marriage? Yes. You what? No. Moon are always his mind. What? I know, but we are not looking at moon as a planet. We are looking at moon as a reference. I am not saying moon gives marriage. I am saying from moon 7th lord gives marriage. From Venus 7th lord gives marriage. 7th house from moon, 7th house from Venus, 7th house from Lagna. All these are important for marriage, right? 7th house is partnership and 7th house from moon is partnership from the point of view of mind. How mind views partnership. And marriage, it is physical, also it is mental. So, and also it is conjugal. Partnership is a matter of the spirit of happiness inside you is seeking a partner. So from that point of view, 7th house from Venus is shown by that. 7th house from Venus shows partnership from the point of view of spirit of enjoyment within you. That is what Venus shows. 7th house from Moon is partnership from the point of view of mind, mental partnership. And 7th house from Lagna is physical partnership, physical companionship. So all the three are important for a marriage. Parasara says Lagna, he even yeah, but why are we seeing with respect to Jupiter? That is for sthira karkas. As far as Naisargika karka is concerned, Venus. So Parasara says if you want to see marriage, see 7th from Venus. Venus has an aspect from the 7th from Venus has an aspect. 7th from Venus has an aspect of Saturn. It's not a full aspect, but he has an aspect. Venus from Venus, Saturn is in the 12th house, but he has an aspect on the 7th house. So he has a link with the 7th from Venus, 7th from Moon, and 7th and the Lagna itself, and also 7th from Lagna. So Saturn Dasha can give marriage. Why Rahu though? Why is Rahu Dasha giving? Why did Rahu Dasha give marriage? Rahu is in the 3rd house, a Kama Trikona, and he has aspect on the 7th house. He is in the 3rd house aspecting 7th house. From Moon, if you see, he is in the 11th house. You see carefully, he is in the 11th house aspecting 7th house again. So Rahu is in the 11th house aspecting 7th house from Moon. He is in Kama Trikonas both from Lagna and Moon, and he is aspecting the 7th in both cases. So there is a chance of giving marriage. Okay, let's see the Tithi Pravesh just to see. By the way, what is the leeway we have? 1 minute before it will change. So probably this is right. Compared to 1 minute before, this probably makes more sense. Now, if you take the Tithi Pravesh chart, which year 2005, right? February you said, right? So let's make 2004 Tithi Pravesh chart. Do you know when in February? Doesn't matter, Jupiter Dasha. So Jupiter Dasha gave marriage. Does it make sense? Jupiter Dasha giving marriage, does it make sense? What do you think? With this, Lagna is in Taurus. Jupiter is the 8th lord in the 4th house. Can he give marriage? Of course, he is the 7th lord from Venus, but from Lagna, and he is the 7th lord from Moon. But from Lagna, he is not, he is the 8th lord. Not very likely. change anything. The Hora Lord is Mars, and Jupiter Dasha gave marriage, and Jupiter is the 7th house. The Lagna Lord, Mercury, is in the 7th house. Lagna Lord Mercury is in the 7th house. Moreover, the 7th Lord is Jupiter. He is with the 9th Lord, even though he is Rahu Lord. 7th Lord Jupiter is with the 9th Lord Rahu, and he is in the 3rd house, Kamatrika. Does this explain marriage better or the previous one? This explains marriage better. So even though they do backward by more, but from this we think that time has to change by at least 2 minutes 40 seconds or something, just to be safe. Let's see. Does this change the Saptamasa? 3 seconds earlier it will change. So you know. Tithi Pravesh Navamsa of 2004, the leeway we have is this works. So now the thing is 7 seconds earlier it will change it by a few more seconds, the natal Saptamasa will change. So we have actually, okay, now Saptamasa Ratna is in Virgo. Explain the abortions better or what do you think? Yeah. Is he in the 12th house or he could be in the 11th house, right? He's actually in the 11th. Oh, he is in the 12th house. Yeah. With what? 5th Lord is in the 12th house, Jupiter is in the 12th house, Rahu is not in the 12th house, but Rahu is afflicting. Rahu is in Gannatha, by the way. Rahu is in Gannatha, the 6th Lord, and he is afflicting Jupiter. Even though there is an 8-degree difference, Jupiter at 811, Rahu at 027. So even surrounding. Yeah, there is some problem. and the lord of it is afflicting very closely Venus. So second abortion also makes sense, right? So this makes much more. As well as By the way, in terms of Gurukrpa, Capricorn is running now. Gemini is running now. And Virgo will run. Virgo Dasha is very, very interesting. Virgo Dasha from 2018 to 2027. Then, if you take the fifth from Virgo, that is Capricorn, the 8th house will be very strong with 4 planets. So, Virgo Dasha will be a very interesting Dasha after 2018. And if you look at the D20, what do you think of the D20? What is the D20? How is this D20? How is Mercury Dasha? Dasha running right now. Well, he is the 9th Lord. He is the 9th Lord. He is with the 10th Lord. He is in the 11th house or maybe 10th house. Mercury is actually in the 10th house. So, he is well placed. 9th Lord in the 10th house. Conjoining the 10th Lord but very far. But he is a good planet. He is a functional benefic in the Shamsa chart. So, you should be religious during this time, because 9th house is not really experience, but it is following dharma, religion in this period. And the Lagna Lord is well placed. Lagna Lord Venus is in a friendly sign in a quadrant, right? Venus is in a quadrant. So Lagna Lord in a 4th house, that is very close to the 4th house cusp. So it is exactly on the 4th house. So 4th house is the house of direction, lack of conflict, peace. So that house is blessed. Lagna Lord in the 4th house is very good. Venus is also part of her in general being happy. So with her spiritual life, religious life, she will be in general peaceful and happy and well directed. So Venus is a strong planet there, and Saturn is in the 8th house. Venus is also associated with, who is the Atmakarka? So Atmakarka is Rahu. So if you stay, Atmakarka is it Rahu? Oh. Yeah, Rahu is the Atmakarka. So Atmakarka Rahu is at 9 degrees Sagittarius. So if you take the 12th house from there, that will be 9 degree Capricorn to 9 degrees Sagittarius. Backwards, we are counting backwards. So where is Venus? He is actually not in the 12th house. He is in 26 degree Capricorn. So if you see the houses, right, from 9 degrees Sagittarius, the first house is 9 degrees Sagittarius, 9 degrees Scorpio to 9 degrees Sagittarius. Right? You are counting from Rahu's longitude, you are going anti-zodiacally. So the 12th house will be 9 degrees Sagittarius to 9 degree Capricorn. He is in the next 9 degree Capricorn to 9 degree Aquarius. That is what he belongs to. That is the 11th. So Venus. Sagittarius to 9 degree Capricorn. That area is aspected by Jupiter. Where is Jupiter? He is at 13 degree Taurus. So he is not really aspecting it strongly. He has an aspect, but it is not that strong. So what about Mars? Where is Mars? He is at Mars is at 29 degree Virgo. Right? So he has a perfect aspect, full aspect on 29 degree Sagittarius. Goes backward. 9 degree Capricorn starts and it ends at 9 degree Sagittarius. giving a Raj Yoga, Dharma Karma Adhipati Yoga. She is a key planet in the chart. In the Rogasthana, from Lagna, Saturn is from Lagna, and Rahu is also affecting. So, influence. So that shows confusion, anxiety, and why that is happening now? We can look at the Paryaya Dasha, but also even before Mercury Dasha started, some different today he is affected by Rahu and Ketu. Sagittarius Disha is running right now. Can it give some problems, health problems? Can Sagittarius Disha give health problems? Well, Sagittarius is Mars. Because he is the dispositor of those planets. So during the affliction by Rahu and Ketu can be good. Pardon me? Yes. Confusion, misjudgment, etc. Her buddhi will be utilized by Rahu. It is not good. What I want find, and once you find लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु सर्वे धार्मिकजनाः सुखिनो भवन्तु यावद्भूमण्डले सनातनधर्मो वर्धतु विशेषतः भरतखण्डे ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः